What's up guys, Matt here, back in Car Mechanic Simulator, and today I was just gonna go see what we find. Go have some fun. If you saw the title and you saw the thumbnail, you know what we found, but I haven't yet, so let's head out to the auction, see if there's anything cool in the auctions. Now, I'm a guy that always likes to go to the salvage auction. I find them a little more entertaining. The cars over at the nice auction are always just a little too nice. I like to be able to actually fix something up. This is actually pretty cool. I have not done a Hellcat yet, and I'm very tempted to make a move on this one. And it looks like it's really not in that bad a shape. Look at that. Look at that Hemi in there. Beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to see if I could win this one. We're at 31,000, 32. It's climbing up pretty quickly. And we've got quite a bit of bidders here, it looks like. I'm just gonna ride this thing out because I really want to do this car. 84,315, probably overpaid, but who cares? There were still people bidding, so at least I know that it's gonna be a car people want. We'll go ahead and send it to the garage. I mean, who wouldn't want a Hellcat? You know, it's not lost by me that I was just talking about how it's nice to be able to fix up the rusty cars, the old rusty salvage cars, and I get one that's pretty much in great shape, but it is what it is. I've always wanted to do one of these. Let's go ahead and send this thing over to the car wash. It doesn't look like it really needs it, but we're gonna end up doing it anyways, so let's go ahead and wash the car. Yeah, it looks better anyway, and we can actually tell it's silver now. I thought it was white, but we might change that too. Let's move it on to the garage and get going. Now, as for diagnostic testing, I'm curious how good this engine actually is on the inside. Let's see if we can do at least a fuel pressure test. Start off with that. And the results are showing really not that bad. Go ahead and do an OBD scan. See what we get out of this. Yeah, I mean, we're talking parts in the 70s, 80s. I mean, not bad at all. We could just do a quick flip with this one instead of doing a whole engine rebuild like I usually do. I mean, a big part of me wants to do like a I mean, it's already high horse. That's a Hellcat, but even more horsepower. So I think we're probably gonna we'll definitely be adding some power parts to it. Let's say that. Do a compression test here and see how we're doing with the innards of our engine here. And again, we're in the 70s, 80s. It's looking, I mean, I would throw high horsepower parts on it. You know, now that I think about it, if you're going to do a job, do it right. We're going to pull this engine out, completely rebuild it, throw as many high horsepower parts as we can on it, high performance parts at least, and see what we can get. So being that this engine is going to come out, we are going to drain the oil and then all the other fluids that are involved. Let's go ahead and use equipment. That oil doesn't even look all that bad. I've seen a lot worse, that's for sure. With the exhaust out of the way, we can start with our drive shaft. Get ready to pull this engine out, spin around, get these other four. There she goes. Now starter. I believe I'm gonna have to, yep, I can get it from here. Sometimes you have to go through the engine bay, sometimes you can go from the bottom. Let's pull the transmission off. That will reveal our clutch assembly here. Get the pressure plate off. Yeah, I think this is the right way to go. Because otherwise, I mean, it's a Hellcat. Let's throw everything we can at it, right? And get this flywheel off of here. Go ahead and pull our engine coolant out of here. There's two coolant reservoirs. One coolant reservoir there and one over here. All right, well, we'll pull both out. You guys should let me know in the comments if there's two coolant reservoirs on a Hellcat. I would imagine they got to keep that thing cool, right? So speaking of the Hemi, let's go over here and mount it to our engine stand. Mount engine, install engine, there it is. And get ready to tear that thing apart. From here, I'm just gonna pull everything out of the engine bay. Let's get our brake servo out of here. Oh, and I forgot to drain. I drained everything except for that. Let's get our ABS module out. It's been a while since I've done a car with ABS and more of a modern car, really. I enjoy doing the classics. I enjoy doing the modern one. I like them all. Let's get all these fuses and relays out of here. And we spin around and get the radiator fan housing and the radiator. And that's the engine bay all cleaned up. Just like that. Not much left. And I'm just gonna strip this thing all the way down. Let's do that. Get the headlights, got the grill, got the get the hood here out of the way. Pull the door. And we're gonna get this thing just torn all the way down. Trunk out of here. rear window. Get these little corner windows here. Taillights. Rear bumper. Does that stay on? Does that not come off? It does not come off. We'll pull the interior as well. Let's just pull it all out and see what we can repair. And to get the steering wheel and rear seat. Right front fender. We're going to need to order a left or driver's side fender. Okay, from here, we can go up and start pulling all the suspension parts. To my regular viewers, I apologize. It's been a while. I've been very, very busy. And one thing I wanted to kind of talk about, I went kind of back and forth on this, was I decided to start a Patreon. And if you're not, everybody seems like, has a Patreon and stuff. And if you're not into it, don't worry. It's no pressure at all. And the reason being is that if I was able to have like a little more income as far as the YouTube goes, I'd be able to do this more regularly. I mean, I think my regular viewers know my professional job is video editing for other people, and move on to the other side here. And if I was able to have a little more income as far as the YouTube side of thing goes, I would be able to dedicate more time to it. Maybe take some less jobs on the professional editing side and be able to focus on my own thing. But again, no pressure. It's I know it's tight out there, so don't worry about it. But if you're interested in checking out my Patreon, there'll be a link to that in the description and everything. And I definitely appreciate it to those that head over there and check it out. I'd love to have you. Got some cool stuff in the works, and then probably come up. I'm going to ask you guys for some ideas for some perks too that we could probably do. Maybe some like members only live stream stuff like that. We'll see. We'll get into it. But that's enough of my spiel for right now. Let's get back to tearing this car apart. Get this lower control arm. We're missing a lot of that stuff on the other side. So this was obviously a crash that really damaged the right side, which is interesting because it's missing the driver's side fender. So explain to me that. You never know with a Hellcat. So let's pull this rubber bushing out and we can drop the K member, I believe. There it goes. And move on to the rear. Get the brake caliper off. Brake pads, brake disc, pull out our drive axle there, wheel hub, or wheel bearing, sorry. Get the wheel hub now, we get the wheel hub. And I am excited to see what kind of horsepower we can get out of this thing. It's gonna be insane, I imagine. Let's get this rear suspension arm here off and out of the way. This rear end has got a lot going on here. There's a lot to it. A lot different than the old solid axle style. We got to get our spring cap there off. Rear suspension arm. That is out of the way. Now we can pull. Let's get over here. Get this small rubber bushing there and get that out of the way. And we can move on to the other side. Let me grab this bushing before I forget. Now move on to the other side. From here, we can get our rear sway bar, this rear cross member out. And while we're back here, let's grab this battery, throw that on the charger here in a second. Oh, we got to get our fuel pump. Just barely see it right there. There it goes. Fuel tank is out. And that's everything. So the Hellcat is already gutted. Let's go pull apart this Hemi. Our rotors are in pretty decent shape. We're going to go ahead and turn these down and probably sell them because we're going to want to stop better when we put a lot more horsepower into that thing. So we're going to upgrade the brakes, but it's always nice to be able to, it's free to run this brake lathe, so might as well do it and gain a little cash back when we sell the discs. Time to dig in. Let's start with the throttle body. Let's pull that off. I've never pulled one of these apart, so this is going to be new to me, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I don't really know where to begin. So start pulling covers off. I'll just kind of guess my way through this. Yep, pull the fuel rail. And we can get these ignition coils out of here. There's one. There's 2 spark plugs per cylinder on these. See, look, I'm already learning here. I don't know much about Dodge, and it shows. Let's pull this engine head cover off. Because, yeah, that's news to me. I was not aware of that. We're all learning. Get these plugs all out of here. Again, that blows my mind. I was not aware of that. Let's go ahead and get this manifold off of here. They looks like headers to me. Straight from the factory. How about that? And then we need to move up to, let's see, let's go to the front of the engine. I think that would be the next logical step, right? All sorts of idler rollers and serpentine belts and everything here. It's impressive. It's quite an engine, these Hellcat Hemis. So we can pull that serpentine belt off there, get our water pump pulley out. Then we can remove this idler roller. Again, I'm just going with whatever turns green because I am not familiar with this at all. But it's very cool. It's kind of exciting. It's a big water pump, which I guess you would need to cool such a ridiculous engine. And let's get our crankshaft pulley out of here. And we can go alternator. And get pretty much this whole front end of the engine torn down. Lots of little idler rollers. Power steering pump. Then can we move our timing cover? Yes. This is exciting, a Hellcat. I'm pretty stoked on this. We can get our timing chain out of here. Cam gear. Then I think we can move on up. Pull our idler roller here. Next will be the fuel rail. When can we put there? Now we can pull the supercharger off. I'm excited about this. Lots of bolts to it though, as I'm sure there would be. And there it goes. We can get our fuel filter out of the way. And you already saw me tear down the other side, so here we go again in fast motion. This is where I left off on this side. This is an interesting pushrod configuration we have here. It's very cool. Definitely different than what I'm used to, for sure. Definitely different than anything like an LS. It's very cool. You got these push rods here at very interesting angles. Usually on like LS type V8 or any type of pushrod V8 that I've usually encountered. They're straight up and down. We got one hidden right there. Now we can pull the hemispherical head off where the Hemi gets its nickname, or its name really. And there we go. It really doesn't look bad in there, but of course we saw that it wasn't when we did our diagnostics. Let's get that camshaft out of there and we're good to flip this thing over and start working from the bottom. Get our oil pan out of here. 4 bolts, I'm sure. And away it goes, and then we can pull our connecting rods, or rod caps that connect to our connecting rods. Get those out of the way, as well as our crankshaft bearings. And we are good to pull our pistons now. Get those out. All 8 of them. Still got to get that oil filter out of the way here in a second. We'll get that after we get our crankshaft out of the way. There it goes. Now pull the oil filter and the block just disappears. And here's the time where I repair what I can repair and replace what I cannot. And you guys will see me on the other side. For those of you wondering what you're missing out on when I skip this part, it's just this for a very long time. Yeah. Time to start building this engine. We got the crankshaft going in. And then we've got our, it's cool they actually have a V8 Hemi pistons and piston rings to go along with it. Let's get all our pistons and piston rings in. I was really impressed too with the fact that they have a lot of performance parts just for the Hellcat and the Hellcat engine. It was really cool. In the upgrade store where you can get the performance parts, they actually have quite a bit of stuff just for this one particular engine. And I guess that's what you get when you get DLC. This is a DLC for those that are wondering. It's nice to have, full support like that. Even the performance support is really cool. So we put this performance head on here, and then from there, got to do all the fasteners. That would be good. And then we can put our performance spark plugs in. Let's do our push rods here. But yeah, we got performance heads, performance spark plugs, performance coil packs, all sorts of performance stuff for this. So we're definitely going to be pushing a lot of horsepower, and I'm excited for that, to find out exactly how much. And I was even able to upgrade a few of those as well, and I say I'm missing one right there. Let's move on to these performance headers, which look gorgeous, all shiny like that. Do our rocker arms. Get all of this tightened down. Then we can go with the head cover. Lots of fasteners for that as well, but still only 4 fasteners on the oil pan. I don't understand that. It's interesting. Not in real life though. And then we were able to get performance, coil packs there. I think I already mentioned that. As well as performance supercharger, camshaft, things like that. It's gonna be fun. This thing's gonna make some power as if it didn't beforehand. Move on to the other side and install all that. Now we can put on our beautiful, massive supercharger. The thing is just huge. And several fasteners for that as well. Fuel rails, get that one in, as well as our other on the other side. And we can do our throttle body. Performance as well as upgraded. Same with the supercharger too. I was able to upgrade that one. Not fully. I didn't have that much scrap stuff laying around. Get those covers on, and then we can start building out the front of the engine. It's looking really good. I'm digging the red with the Hemi orange and everything. It's looking really cool. Oh, performance camshaft as well. And we can do our cam gear and timing chain, I bet. Yep, there it goes. And our timing cover. Now we can do our water pump. Lots of bolts for this engine, that's for sure. And from there we can add our power steering pump. On it goes, as well as alternator by now, yep. A lot to this engine. A lot of rollers. Remember that. Harmonic balancer can go on. Another roller. I need to point out just how many rollers there are on here. Then we can go with a water pump pulley. Another roller. Thinking I'll probably end up forgetting one. I've done it before and I'll probably do it again. I know I'll do it again. Just see if we'll do it again today. On it goes. And that's looking complete to me. Is that the whole engine complete? Fuel filter. Now, that looks complete to me, and it looks good. Let's install our engine, and it goes beautiful. This can go back to where it came from. That looks really good in there. Man, that is big. Whew. We can do our brake booster, as well as both of our coolant reservoirs. There's one, and the other one is over here. Again, I'd be interested to know. I guess I could Google it, but I want to drive this car. Let's put this air filter base in. I'll just rely on you guys. How about that? I'll take the lazy way out. And then the little clips. 1, 2, 3, and 4 back here. I suppose we could move on to the radiator. Get that in. And the fans. The fan housing. Along with the fans. There we go. Need our windshield washer reservoir. Oh, and I bought the very expensive, it was $10,000, the ECU type B stage 3. And then from here we can do all our fuses and relays. And on the cover can go. Nice. And I believe we need to do the ABS system. The ABS module. I think that's probably going to do it for under the engine. Or under the engine bay, at least. So for tires, I got slicks for the rear, because we're obviously going to need them. And then race tires for the front. I think that'll be a good balance. And speaking of balance, let's balance it. We are ready to do the underside. Let's get our cross member in here. Then we can put on our power steering rack there. Inner tie rod. Oh, before I forget, let me get these rubber bushings in each corner of the cross member. Now we're ready to start building out. We get our steering knuckle cover. Go ahead and do our shock assembly here. Get that installed, as well as our front wheel hub. Now we can do the brake disc, which is going to be the carbon ceramic. We're going to need those. At least I think we are. Get our wheel hub cap caliper. Get that on there. Do lower control arm here. All new bushings. I'm glad we went this route with this car, just to go full on rebuild with it. Maybe you didn't need it, but who cares? Bringing it, if you're gonna do it, go all out. Tie rod end. And we are ready for our wheels and tires. These are the front ones. Yes, the non-slick. Get these on here. And then on to the other side. Let's get our rear suspension cross member in, as well as our knuckle here. Then we can go sway bar. Come on, I want to go sway bar. There we go. Get that on. Small rubber bushing needed for this little... There's so many small rubber bushings on this rear end. We come a long way from old school live axle rear ends. Quite a bit to this rear end here. And then we get wheel hub there. Rear shock absorber. Let's see, yep. Rear suspension upper arm. There's a lot of rubber bushings for this car. We've got two more right here. There's two. On it goes. Then we've got our sway bar end link. I think there's more to the rear end of this car than there is to the front end. Lower suspension arm. Then we can do our spring stuff here. Spring cap. Spring, rear spring, and then the absorber cap. And we can go onto our rear wheel hub. On it goes. As well as, I can't talk today. Our bearing, axle, brake disc. Just having one of those days, I think. I thank you for your patience. And I believe that side is done. We can do the rear tire with the slicks, which I believe we're definitely going to need. And then we can move on to the other side. And while we're down here, let's get to the battery install, as well as our fuel tank. In it goes, performance fuel pump. I think we're good there. It's time to move on to the exhaust. Let's go ahead and go from the back to the front. Why not? That's all performance here. Middle muffler, performance, and as well as the front section. Excellent. While we're over here, let's do the flywheel. Clutch plate. Pressure plate here. Install our throwout bearing. There it is. And then I went ahead and bought the performance gearbox because I think we're going to need that as well. Get that installed and we're ready for our starter, which is, there we go. Drive shaft next. Indeed. There we go. Guess it would have been easier to do the drive shaft before the exhaust. Oh well. No big deal. And we are connected. Driveline connected. Bring it on down and do fluids. Washer fluid. Windshield washer fluid. Brake fluid. Coolant reservoir A. Coolant reservoir B. Power steering fluid. And the ever so important engine oil. Got a brand new interior for it. Front seats in and steering wheel, and that's it. Time to put on some body panels. Let's go from the front. Start here, right headlight, left headlight, hood. Bought all new, brand new. Get the windows here, get those in. And around here, we got our trunk, rear window, left taillight, right taillight, rear bumper, there it is. And I still need to add a license plate. I haven't grabbed that yet. So yeah, that's what had me confused earlier, is that the bumper was missing, is why I was like surprised you couldn't take the bumper cover off, because it was missing. Makes sense now. Get the windows in. Get our fender on. Did I get this fender over here? I did. I believe that's complete. Let's go pick out a license plate. Today, we're going New York. Buy parts. On it goes. I believe we only need one on this one. Do our welder there. I usually do it in the beginning, but I figure do it now. And then we'll do our interior detailing. There it goes. Move the car into the paint shop. And I haven't sat in this thing yet. The interior is very nice, done very well. I even got a Challenger right there on the infotainment system. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, let's start it. See if it'll start. Oh yeah. What's that supercharger? That's cool. Looking at some of the liveries, I like the Hellcat decal on the back like that. I think that looks cool. But I also like it with the SRT too. That's really cool. But I also really like the stripes. They have them in black and then like kind of a metallic gray. Man, I don't know. That's kind of tough. I guess it depends on what color we want to do too. And I was looking at the factory colors. Where is that over here? Right here. And they don't have the purple. There's that purple that I thought was cool, but we can always, go in and black looks so good on these though. And do it ourselves over here. Like something like, well, not with that particular color of decal, but you know what I mean. One of these purples would be pretty nice too. That red metallic is actually way nice with the black wheels like that. Oh, and it looks really good with that decal set too. I bet it does with the stripes as well. What do I like better? Yeah, I like the Hellcat on the side with the SRT. That looks actually really sharp. I'm digging it. Let's paint it. Send this thing over to get aligned, and then I think we'll be ready for the dyno. Excited for that. There we go. Everything lined up. Looks good. Onto the dyno. And I'm definitely going to want to tune. We've got the tunable ECU. So I want to check the tune on that. And we're definitely probably going to want to... Oh, we got eight gears stock. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's no... Well, didn't mean to hit carburetor. So yeah, I'm going to mess with these to achieve... So you got to achieve the best performance, the ECU tuning, you need to align the bars higher position, better performance. So I'm going to sit here and adjust these for a little bit. Get it figured out. Okay, the best I can get is +6, and that's with this tune here. So we will apply it, and we're going to see what kind of horsepower we make. All right, I think we're ready to start the dyno. Oh, the following part is missing from the car. Rear suspension arm B. Look what I did. I was going too fast. Wonder if you guys caught it. Let me know if you caught it. Question is, which side is it? Up. This side. Right there. Much better. Okay, now I believe we're ready for the dyno. Yes, proceed, accept. Here we go. Factory horsepower 707, 650 pound-feet of torque. Let's see what we get with our modifications. And the survey says 1,274 horsepower, 1,155 pound-feet of torque. That's 568 horsepower gained and 506 pound-feet of torque gained. That's enough to get us in trouble, and it gives us a drag rating of 683. This thing's gonna be fun. Let's go find out how much fun. Parked it outside to get a look out here. It looks so good. I really dig this color. I mean, yeah, you could call it maroon, but It works with the body lines. It works with the black wheels and the black decal. I dig it. And here we are at the speed track. We're gonna see what kind of top speed we can get out of this thing and still be able to stop. That's the tricky part. All right, start it in the dirt. Why not? Let's go. And we're already at 100. That was quick. Very, very quick. This thing, it moves. There's 150. 170. Can we get to 200 and still stop? Maybe push it to 210, maybe? Yeah, let's push it to 210. Oh, 209. Oh, I have plenty of room. All right, let's try to beat it. 209, 10. Oh, we're gonna lose it. Stop, 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 stop. Oh, just barely, but we got it to 220. That's pretty good. Will it donut? No, traction control. I wish there was a way to turn it off. If there is a way to turn that off, can you guys let me know if I can turn off traction control? Kind of J-turns. Stupid traction control keeps trying to kick in. And this thing is fun. Let's take it to the drag strip. All right, we're at the drag strip. King of the Sands, quarter mile, of course, Class A. Let's do it. Let's see what kind of ridiculousness we are up against. McLaren F1 right off the bat. Look at that thing. Okay, let's do it. There it is. Okay, let's see. Can we get a McLaren? Oh, it does wheel spin a lot. Yeah, there goes the McLaren. Yeah, I'm losing it on the wheel spin, which is surprising because I have slicks. I'm still able to run a 10.3, but he ran a 9.6. Knocked out on the first try. Let's try that again. This time we were up against a Nissan GTR to start things off. Still, that's going to be quite a feat there. But that'd be a good matchup. Hellcat GTR. All right, this should be good as long as I don't mess it up, which I'm prone to doing. Here we go. Again, I'm getting so much wheel spin, I have to dog it. But we're getting him. Just barely, we're gonna get him. Oh, there you go. We're walking him towards the end. How about that? This time we'll be up against an Evo. Lancer Evo, cool. Yeah, I think if I just practice being able to get the wheel spin under control, then I could be faster, but I could just, it's just tricky. Let's see. Yeah, we got him. We got him. All right. This time we're up against the Shelby Cobra Super Snake for the championship race. If we win this, we move on to the final race. Here we go. Don't red light. Again, it digs down right there, but are we gonna get him? Did he already pet us? I think we got him. All right. And that time I ran a 10.3 again. 10.3. At least I'm being consistent there. But yeah, he ran 11.3. All right, championship race, the final race, and we're up against a Jeep Cherokee. A Jeep Cherokee race car, it says. That's got to be one ridiculous Jeep Cherokee. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks very interesting. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's fast though. Can we get him? Can we get him? Oh, I don't think no, we didn't get him. That was close though. That was fun. He ran a 10.3 and this time I ran a 10.4. Man, if I would have been able to repeat my 10.3, that would have been close, much closer. My reaction time wasn't very good either. Man, that was fun. That's all that matters. We still won some money though. 5,250 credits. I'll take it. It's time to see how much money we make out of selling this thing. Let's see, we got, yeah, everything's 100%. Let's go ahead and sell it. The sell value is 208,000, profit of 124,365. I will take that all day long. that was really fun. Guys, if you made it this far, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. It really helps out the videos. And if you want to join Patreon, you'll get to have your name at the end of one of these videos. Not this one, because, well, I'm just now releasing it. So if you want to have your name at the end of the videos, go for that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.